Preview.
In July of 1952, an event happened in Washington, D.C. that shook the city to its core. Many unidentified flying objects flew over the Capitol in a display of perfect formation.
In Washington, ghost-like objects dart across the radar screen at the CAA Traffic Control Center at National Airport for several hours, traveling more than 100 miles an hour. Air Force jet fighters spend several hours chasing the objects plotted on the radar scope. General Sanford, Air Force Intelligence Director, confirms that the objects are not secret American weapons and reiterates the Air Force's obligation to investigate.
In pursuit of this obligation, since 1947, we have received and analyzed between 1,000 and 2,000 reports that have come to us from all kinds of sources. Of this great mass of reports, we have been able adequately to explain the great bulk of them, explain them to our own satisfaction. However, there have been a certain percentage of this volume of reports that have been made by credible observers of relatively incredible things. It is this group of observations that we now are attempting to resolve. We have, as of date, come to only one firm conclusion with respect to this remaining percentage, and that is that it does not contain any pattern of purpose or of consistency that we can relate to any conceivable threat to the United States.
Major Keyhole, as author of the book Flying Saucers Are Real, what is your opinion of these new sightings of unidentified objects?
With all due respect to the Air Force, I believe that some of them will prove to be of interplanetary origin. During a 3-year investigation, I found that many pilots have described objects of substance and high speed. One case, pilots reported their plane was buffeted by an object which passed them at 500 miles an hour. Obviously, this was a solid object, and I believe it was from outer space.
At the same time that Washington, D.C. was receiving sightings, there was several sighting and interaction with UFOs all over the United States.
Did the Joint Chiefs of Staff talk to you or concern you about the unknown and the unidentified flying object?
Oh, yes, we discussed it at every conference that we had with the military, and they never were able to make me a concrete report on
Do you have
what
anything
they
on
see.
the subject, sir?
No, I haven't anything on the subject, and there's always things like that going on, flying saucers, and they've had other things, you know.
I am Lauren Ross Diedrichsen, Colonel, USA retired. I got a Bachelor of Science degree, and then the Air Force sent me to the Stanford Business School to study management, and then promptly assigned me to Washington, D.C., and I served in the Chief of Staff's office shortly for orientation, and then they put me into the U.S. Atomic Energy Commission, where I became responsible for maintaining the inventory of the accountability of the nuclear weapons stockpile, and involved in the security and the, you might say, auditing the manufacturing facilities and the storage facilities for all the nuclear weapons in the U.S. And I was there. While I was there, I had my first incident with UFOs, which in mid-July they flew over Washington, D.C., and I saw my first 9 UFOs.
What year was this?
This is July of 1952.
1952 became the year of flying saucers. Sightings happened all over United States. By this time this incident happened in 1952, the United States had already experienced the Roswell incident in 1947. All this UFO activity was happening during Harry S. Truman's presidency. By the time the saucers showed up over Washington, D.C., he had already established Operation Majestic 12, in September of 1947. The group was set up to investigate and cover up anything they deemed necessary. Since Harry Truman's presidency, all UFO and ET activity has been silenced ever since. There is a rumor that Truman signed some sort of treaty with the extraterrestrials. Thank you for watching Universal Lighthouse. Please like or subscribe for amazing discoveries and universal enlightenment. Please view description for Universal Lighthouse's research and study links.